Hi, and welcome to Breakfast with Max. I'm Max, your host, and this is your breakfast. Your first meal in the morning, or your first meal awakening. Either way, let's come together and have this moment for us, co-creating. And today I want to tell you a story. So, this is the story of a old man. And the story begins as this old man awakens one morning in his house. He's alone, or so he supposes he is. And suddenly he hears something. And he says, well, strange. I shouldn't hear these things. Someone is in the house. So he says, the old man goes out and check. And he sees this person going around. And says, well, what are you doing here? Why are you here? You shouldn't be here. This is not your house. I don't know you. And the man responds, well, why? I have all the rights to be here. I paid to be here. And the old man doesn't understand. How? How is it possible? How could you have paid? I've never invited you. I don't know you. So, well, leave. Go away. And suddenly other people start to go and to come to go in all the different floors. And the old man is just lost. He doesn't understand. All these people in my house? I don't know them. Never invited them. And suddenly, this is one of his nephews, and he asks her, what is happening? What are you doing here? What are these people doing here? And so he explains that they paid in order to stay there, that he decided to use all those rooms that are empty as a hotel for very rich people. And well, yeah, indeed. The house, this old man's house, is one of the most beautiful, expenses, bigger in the whole universe. So that, in fact, there are plenty of rooms for all the members of his family. Each member has a room. And so the old man gets angry, says, how dare you do this? How dare you use this, my house, our family house, as a hotel, even if it's for rich people, and that they pay a lot of money. That's not your place to do this. Oh, and this is one of the guys going just near him, and he gets to him and says, you leave now. And the man gets angry. He says, how dare you? I'm very rich, and how dare you tell me this? And the old man said, I don't care how rich you are. I'm richer than you. I'm the most rich. I'm the person most rich in the universe. Well, the translation is not good, but anyway, that's what he says. And so the old man is absolutely not impressed with these people. They may be rich, he's richer. Much, way much richer. So the old man gets really very angry. He says, I want everyone in my house, I want them in the reception room in 5 minutes. So who is this man? Well, this man is, as he said, a very rich person. One of the most rich in the universe. And I'm not exaggerating saying the universe. But not just him, all his family, because every member, there are 50 people that are members of his family. And each one of them is at least billionaire. And some of them multi-billionaires. and a lot of them are multi-billionaires with so much wealthy. But if you put all these 50 family members together, they are not even half as rich altogether as the old man. The old man is simply so rich, so wealthy. And the house has 50 rooms for each member of the family. And with that, there are many floors and well, you can't imagine all the art, true art, from all the universe. That is just impossible to estimate how much this art is value. It has no value. So much value it has, you cannot estimate the value of this art. Paintings, sculptures, glass art, you want it, you name it, from the best artists from all the universe. Nothing is off limit. This old man has everything. And the house to host all of this wealthy. So obviously when he gets angry and says, in 5 minutes I want everyone in the reception room, well, in 5 minutes every host is in the reception room. 50 people. And so he addresses himself directly to his nephew and he says, how very dare you do this? It's just 2 months that your granny has disappeared. I'm still mourning her loss and you do this to me? How dare you? So enters the white lady. This old lady stand up. She has white hair and she's dressed with the most magnificent dress ever. She's beautiful, old but beautiful, just so, so beautiful. And you can see that, well, she is the most magnificent woman in the universe. And the old man is just surprised to see this woman. He was so angry with his nephew that he didn't pay attention up to that moment to any one of the guests. And she was hiding, so he didn't really... Then when she stands up, His Majesty. But she is. She's a queen. And so she stands up and she says, please, my dear, don't get angry to your nephew. You see, he has done all of this under my direction. And the old man just stays there, doesn't understand what is happening. This woman, he doesn't know this woman, and this woman is just standing there saying, my nephew did this. Oh, and she asked for it? Is very is amazed, doesn't know what to think. And the old woman keeps talking, and she addresses him directly, looking straight to him, with no fear of him. He's one of the most feared men in the universe. Yeah, but she doesn't fear him. He's amazed. And suddenly she says, well, dear husband. And the man said, husband? What are you talking about? I'm not your husband. Am I? My wife disappeared 2 months ago. And she says, and she interrupts him and says, well, I didn't disappear, my dear. I just asked one of your slaves to tell you that I disappeared, so that I could prepare this day with the whole family for you. Today is our anniversary. 50 years ago, we married. And since then, we had 8 children. And so many grandchildren. That our family is now composed of 50 people. And this is probably the most powerful family in the universe. And the man is just surprised. When he thought he had lost his wife, he was stunned. He never had those feelings in the whole of his life. He simply had never thought about his wife. She was there. They had children, yes, but, well, he never cared about the children. He never did anything for the children because, well, he had slaves for that. He had all the stuff to do than to take care of children. And well, it's true that beside having the children with his wife, he couldn't remember the last time he interacted with her before today, before that moment actually, and well, was surprised. He didn't know she looked like that way. 50 years. Well, 50 years. Well, that he knew that 50 years meant nothing. It was just a number. Oh, he had spent his entire life, just caring about the family and to keep the name, to keep the position, to keep everything, because, well, being the most powerful family in the universe, well, that gives you responsibilities, and you have to be careful about anything that is happening in the universe, because, well, everyone is trying to fuck up, and, well, you have to be there, and you have to be the one that says no to everyone. Things have to happen in a certain way, and that's all. And so, yes, he had spent his life being occupied with the universe. What's wrong with that? But now that he came to think about it, now that he comes to think about it, he recognized one of his nephews, but she said that all the rest of those people, well, that must be the family. And he couldn't tell which ones were his children and which one were his grandchildren. Most of those people, he had never seen them ever. Huh. Wow. That's amazing. He had cared, he had done everything in order to have all this, and you know, it's that this family doesn't have money. They are not rich in money. They hardly know what money is. Because when you are that rich, you don't have money. You are rich. And whatever happens, whenever it happens, wealth is there at your disposal. That's how much rich they are. None of the members of that family will ever be poor in the whole of history of the universe. Because being poor is not in their mentality, in their beings. They were born rich and they live rich. Wealthy and feared and respected. And whenever they want something, it materializes. They don't have servants, they don't have people working for them, they have slaves. Oh, they're very well treated, but they are slaves. They belong to the family. And so, finally, we meet again, said said the old woman. After all this time. Yeah, that is his family around him. And that woman, that magnificent, majestic woman, that goddess, oh, his wife. So the old man looks around him and says, well, my dear, well done. And the old woman looks back at him and says, thank you, my dear, well done. And finally, the doors open, the doors leading to the dining room. Dining room is 10 times bigger than the reception room. Magnificent decoration, things that come from all over the universe, and sculptures, paintings, and you have to imagine that when I say art, it's not just that the painting is something created with, pincher, with as we do here on Earth. No, there are living paintings. There are living sculptures. Things created with sound. Things created with light, solidified light, and the sound is just worked in a way that you cannot imagine. The sound is just taken together, made that energy together, and then it becomes so strong, and they can work it in ways, and that sound and that light, and these artists have mastered arts that we have absolutely no idea of. And using living creatures or living beings, or everything is alive actually. So and they know it. They perceive all of these arts and artifacts and everything that they possess. They perceive them as alive. They know that everything in the universe is alive. So they know the privilege of having all of these beings, all of these artifacts, arts and objects, and to possess them. And the fact that they know that all of these are alive makes them even more valuable. Because in the whole universe, life is considered as the most expensive, as the most valuable thing ever. And to possess life, yeah. You see, you could think that these people are not evolved, they have slaves. Yeah. But you see, they have a respect for life that you will never have. You don't have. They will never mistreat anyone. They will never beat anyone. And as for health, there is nothing they wouldn't do to give the best attention to any illness or anything that could happen to anyone, even their slaves. The concept of saying it's too expensive doesn't cross their mind. They know how valuable life is. Every life. You are shit confronted to them, as much as you don't care about life, as much as you don't understand life. Because you see, these people have an idea. They know how they create their reality. They know the relationship they have to what is around them. And they have one thing that determines everything else, which makes them, this family, the most wealthy family in the universe. They have a love for themselves that is unconditional. And they love themselves so unconditionally that too simply they value life in respect of that. When you love yourself unconditionally, you love everything unconditionally. And that's what they are. And this man that do not know any of the member of his family, he doesn't even know his wife. Still, he values them unconditionally. He loves them unconditionally. So you see, when I was talking about them being the most wealthy, yeah, they are. They can have all the money in the universe, anytime, they want money, they can create it. They want anything, they can create it. It will be given to them. But I was not just talking about that. That is just one part of their wealthy. There is the wealthy that comes really from within. And that wealthy, it's what makes the difference. And so that family has everything they want, and not just on their planet. They can go wherever they want in the universe. And they have anything they want. Planets, houses, properties, you name it. Because they know that they create it. So they know how reality works. So you see, this old man could be judged. Could be, yeah. But still, this old man, this amazing, wonderful house, with all these amazing, wonderful things that are in this house that, wow, you cannot even start to imagine how wealthy that is. This man, all by all standards, still have so much to live. And you can look around him, look at his wife, and they can look at each other, and they can see the love, they can feel the connection. Because you see, these people are not living all the time in human form, let's call it human form, or with a physical form. They have many forms. They can change their form according to whatever it needs. Most of the time they are what? They are energy. They live as energy. Light. You could, if we had to see them, probably we will see just light. But we can't see them, but that's what they are. So, well, obviously, it becomes for them much more difficult to recognize each other because they don't have the idea of the physical, the physicality. It's just a way from them for themselves to present themselves. They are gods. What we will describe as gods, they don't know themselves as gods. No one except us on earth will describe them as gods, but they are gods. For our standards, they are. Except that they don't are because they don't perceive themselves as gods. They just are. Infinite, limitless. In a certain way, they are you. But not you in physical form. You. The real you. The whole of you. And you see, still they have a life. They have experiences, but they know what they are. So that their story, this story, is a story of mythology, of all the dimensions. And this story can go on for the infinity that it is. Our infinity, our infinite, never ending. That's the real never ending story. That goes on for eternity. Because these beings are eternal. There is no death. Yeah. And so, this is the eternal story of the old man that remembers his wife, the old white lady, and his family, for their eternal anniversary. Because every day is eternal. Because there is no day. There is just the moment. And their moment is eternal. And it's happening right now. Well, I hope you liked this story. The story of the old man and his family. Who knows, maybe they'll have some new stories to tell you. Thank you for watching in the love and light of the one Creator.